Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Tony Stark Iron Man issue 18. And I enjoyed this one. I really liked the direction it was going, especially towards the end with how we're setting up with Tony fighting Ultron Pym. So we see that this is broken up into pretty much two main parts, Rhodey dealing with Ultron Pym and Tony dealing with trying to separate himself from his fused suit. We also get some kind of important stuff going on with Arno and Sunset Bane, but that's pretty much just like one page of pretty much a good teasing of where it's going to be going. So we see that pretty much the spas that Ultron has been using to fuse his people have been running over. Reporters kind of like freaking out about what's going on, but of course War Machine and Janet are able to pretty much get everybody to kind of safety as they're pretty much trying to deal with what's going on with Ultron. We also see that Machine Man is pretty much getting himself up out of the wreckage of the Avengers Mansion and is wondering what has been going on, and somebody on our side is pretty much not really caring about who they're pretty much going after, pretty much calling into Rhodey. And he's kind of having a double freak out of being in the War Machine suit, as well as what he's doing to the cybernetic people, hoping that there is a kind of cure. Then we kind of go and see what's going on with Tony at Stark, and he's pretty much getting the lowdown of like, okay, Shapiro is able to figure out how to separate the Ionic Man and the robot, but it's a little bit more difficult with how it's going to be with Tony in the suit. Even though it sounds like it could be more kind of a similar kind of thing going on. Wonder Man's an ionic being, and Vision's an android. This is more of squishy parts being molecularly fused with metal parts, so it's a little bit more complicated than those two. So they get the plan of pretty much having Stark control a nano suit and have it go in and pretty much tag the parts that need to kind of be separated. He pretty much gets into that. Janet goes in and tries to help out because she had run out because Vision and Wonder Man had been able to kind of help out with Ultron Pym. However, Ultron shot off his own little thing, so when Janet got inside Tony's body, a, a shrunk down Ultron was also in there fighting as well. So we kind of get some back and forth with that, and Janet, of course, is trying to take on Ultron's mini me and thinking, oh, okay, even if I'm just kind of like messing with him here, he should be pretty much screwed over on the outside. He says he knows how to pretty much multitask because he's pretty much taken out Rhodey and Vision and Wonder Man. So we see that Tony's pretty much trying to grapple with what's going on. He's saying he kind of knows what he is, but we see that there is like this barcode in the Maria Foundation, named after his mother, in his like blood cells. It's like that's kind of freaked out, but that kind of spins into what's gone on with Arno as we see that he has been able to bring his parents back to life. And Sunset Bane's like, that's kind of weird that you kind of brought him back all wrinkly and everything. But I'm like, it would be kind of a lot weirder if you were the kid and you brought him back as babies and had to raise him as babies. You know what I mean? But she's bringing up that like money's the thing that matters most, and since they're technically dead, they're not going to have any access to the Stark fortune. But of course, Honor's like, hey, they've got memories and everything. They know where bodies are buried. Trying, pretty much setting up where they can kind of get their influence back. But Bane starts posing a question of like, okay, they're just as valid or invalid as being the head of the Stark family as Tony. And that's why it's kind of important to see Tony seeing that on his blood cells in his body. But he's pretty much gotten to a point where he's got most of his body covered. He's got 3% left, and he's like, screw it. He's able to get Janet out of there as well. But he's gotten himself separated from everything going on. And as Ultron's pretty much trying to kill him, we see that Yocasta has come back, and Andy put her in Friday's body. And of course she freaks out at first because she's like, you pretty much put me in a dead body. And he's like, well, if that was the only way to save someone like Tony, that's what I'd fucking do. And I'm like, he has a point, Yocasta. It's kind of weird. It kind of sucks, but it was the only way to kind of make sure you were alright. And she's kind of like wondering if this is like part of her punishment for trying to become more human. I'm like, I don't think it's going that far. It's more like, okay, it kind of sucks, but you're kind of needed right now since you are one of the biggest authorities on Ultron, as she pretty much catches little Ultron and swooshes him. So Tony's like, hey, listen, Ultron's still a threat. We need to get this done, and since they don't have any other AIs to kind of help him out with most of the modern armors, he goes with the classic red and gold one, and I love that they brought that back. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And I kind of like having that shot of him in that classic armor and like gonna be going to go and fight Ultron. So I can't wait to see where that goes. They did a good job with this. I really kind of liked the whole art going on with like the fusion aspect with Tony and the rest of the cybernetic people, and just seeing the different kind of things, like seeing how different Ultron Pym is to his mini-me Ultron, and just did a good job of kind of showing up the little amount of action that we got in this. It wasn't really big. I think that's pretty much going to be saved with when Tony gets back into the fray and helps out the rest of the people going after Ultron Pym. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.